I am officially running for President of the United States.
Could he actually win?
No freaking way!
Which Republican candidate has the best chance of winning the general election?
Donald Trump.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump.
Trump will not be president.
Trump will never be elected president of the United States.
You're not going to be president.
A man who will never be president of the United States.
Donald Trump is not going to be president of the United States. Take it to the bank.
He will never be president.
Donald Trump is not going to become president of the United States.
She's at plus 19. Do you think the tapes made a difference? Of course! They made all the difference!
This race is over.
Hillary Clinton has raised more than double Donald Trump, vastly outspending him.
The presidency at about 89% for Hillary Clinton.
Your analytical model has never been wrong. Now projects Hillary Clinton to win presidential election.
100% chance. You still think she has a 100% chance of winning the election?
I do.
And what would Donald Trump have to do to turn things around?
Prayer and hope for a Festivus miracle.
This is CNN's coverage of Election Night in America. The fight for the presidency.
Because we don't care. Oh, okay, have Kentucky. Who cares? Kentucky.
Don't
care about Indiana. Don't care.
Indiana with it's West Virginia, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Mississippi, South Carolina, Alabama, Kansas, Nebraska, and Wyoming with its vote, North Dakota and South Dakota, Texas.
Up and down the middle of the country, all red.
Arkansas, Louisiana, the state of Montana, Missouri.
Yes.
It was at 80% an hour ago for Clinton.
What is it now?
68%.
Okay, God damn it, I'm nervous.
Ohio.
Hold. Ohio, John.
Idaho.
Okay, yeah, I don't see a fucking landslide here. I don't see it at all.
North Carolina.
God damn it, if we need Florida, are you shitting me?
Florida.
It is fucking panic time.
Georgia.
Donald Trump now the favorite to win the presidency.
Iowa.
New York Times now has it at 95% chance.
Utah.
Can still win, but in order to do so, she has to win Wisconsin. God damn, fuck
Arizona.
Alaska.
Pennsylvania.
Michigan.
What a night!
And welcome, guys. Welcome to Sunday night. Listen, for the people that don't know or forgot, this will be from now on the Sunday night shows instead of Monday, because obviously people know that I cannot do Monday. So before we start off, let me see if the volume is good, because you never know. Yep, the volume's good. Just making sure, guys. So Sunday nights, it's going to be Sunday nights up until I get back home in the beginning of July. Then it'll go back to Monday nights for the summer in July. But I'll keep you guys up to date. But I hope you guys like the back screen. It's a green screen. I kind of have a delay, as you guys probably can see. I'm not autistic or stuff like that. It's just in order to have that green screen, guys, I might have a little delay. So if I look like a robot, please throw it in the comments section. I want to try to, work with this darn computer and all this stuff, to make a better podcast and stuff like that. I mean, I don't put money into this. I mean, I put enough money every month with our sponsor to keep this going to keep it as a family. So anyway, with that being said, let's find out who's out there, who's in the chat, who's on the videos. Who's watching for tonight, our common sensors, our pure bloods, our once upon a time pure bloods. our Canadian patriots, our American patriots, the family. And so let's do the shout outs before we bring on my first guest for tonight. Not first, my only guest for tonight. Obviously, I can't imagine having more than one guest, right? It's only an hour show, guys. All right. So with that being said, first shout outs going out to Gilles Bourgeois, who's always always wants to be the first for some reason. It's like when it's like 9 o'clock, he's like bang on, or at 8:50, he knows when I'm coming on. He's got to get on there. I think he's got a timer. So anyway, how you doing, Jill? Camaro Chevy Girl from Nova Scotia, Miss Andrea from New Brunswick, Miss Patty Voltor, Denise DeWaddle, Judy Horn from Kentucky, Miss Anna, my cousin from Shediac, Patty Voltor, happy Easter. That's another thing, guys. Happy Easter. I can't believe I didn't start off the show by saying happy Easter. I mean, come on, Jeff. Happy Easter to everybody out there. How you doing, Louis LeBlanc, Vincent, brother from a different mother from Rishabuktu, Miss Michelle from Ontario. Let's go, Brent from North Carolina. There's our American family. I love it when you guys are on. To be honest with you, I mean, you guys are 400 million people. I mean, I wish I had the numbers of Joe Rogan. If I did, this shit would have stopped a long time ago. There'd be more people awake instead of him smoking cigars and bringing comedians on the show. All right. Shout out going out to Joan Hiba, Ron from the Peg area, which is 8 o'clock his time. No, it'd be 7 o'clock his time. No, 7 o'clock, because he's only 1 hour from me. Brenda Pryor, Roland, Jim Morrison, Mac, Juanita, Martin, brother from a different mother, Gerald, Miss Tanya from California, from Canada. You got to be careful on that, Tanya, because CA can stand for California. Miss Therese, Dale from Nova Scotia, Miss Cafty, McHadden, Mo DeCause, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Mo's from Somerset, if my memory serves me well. Miss May Gullison, Judy Gold, Miss Eagles from Ontario, Cheers from Newfoundland, Tommy Gunn. Let's see, guys. Miss Ruby, Pauline Bork, Debbie Kwan, Mazzalina Lane from California. I love my American patriots. I really do, guys. You don't even know how happy I am when it comes to seeing America. Usually we have some Lisa from UK. She's usually on from the UK, so it's nice to have her on. I had some people from Australia, but the time difference, they're like, I mean, to be honest with you, Australia, it'd be 9 a.m. So, I mean, most people work. How you doing, Richie from PEI, Brian Matthews, John Cormier, and the list goes on. All right, guys. So with that being said, give me a thumbs up when my guest is ready. I think they can hear you. Okay, yeah. So without ado, guys, I hope you have a little humor in for you guys for tonight. I know everyone wants to get serious and stuff like that. But my guest tonight, guys, and we all respect this person. He's been a freedom fighter. He's a world saver. He's been doing a lot for us since 2016. And so I am honored to bring him out. To be honest with you, I'm actually very impressed that he took the time from his busy day to jump on our podcast and talk to the Freedom Family. And let's get some questions that we can ask for him, or to him. Sorry, that's the French coming out. And let's bring him out, guys.
Good.
All right. So with that being said, guys, if I'm not mistaken, we have him, the one and only. There's the man. Oh my God, I can't believe he's actually on the show tonight, guys. It's just amazing. I've been waiting since 2016 to meet him. Oh, looking good, Mr. President. Looking good, if I do say so myself. I think this is his part. I can't even do this dance. Right on. Oh, right on. All right, so we'll get Mr. President Trump to sit down here, and let's get him some questions out here. So, Mr. President, again, thank you for taking some time. I know there's some stuff going on in the world today, with the whole war in Iran and all that stuff. I do believe personally, Mr. President, that the war in Iran's been finished for the longest time. Obviously, the United States don't mess around when it comes to stuff like that. But I'm glad you took time, and I've got a lot of questions. Not a lot. I got a few questions to ask for you. And I'll start the podcast off, by thanking you for taking the time and from your busy schedule. Anything you have to say, Mr. President?
Hello, Jeff, and hello to all of the amazing patriots worldwide watching this show.
Well, it sounds like you have a little bit of a slight cold, Mr. President, but I understand because I know I watch and follow you. You're what, almost 78 years old, going on 80, and you're always on the plane. You're always taking rides. You probably got about 4 hours sleep. So thank you once again for to bring you on to the show tonight. So I guess, Mr. President, I got a few questions to ask. So do you mind me asking you these questions? So my first one is, what's your opinion on the leadership of Governor Carney, Mr. President?
Ask me any question you want. I'm here to help spread truth and save your country.
Awesome. So again,
well,
what do you think, Mr. President, about our Governor Carney?
Well, Governor Trudeau chickened out, so now we have to put the pressure on the Brookfield banker.
The Brookfield banker. Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Mr. President, because the Brookfield is in every contract possible throughout Canada's deals. Like, you can't even imagine everything that they're doing to sign deals has Brookfield behind it in some ways. And I don't understand how the people of Canada are not seeing this right now. So my second question to you, Mr. President, is when do you think you will be taking over Canada?
Hoping to do it July 4th.
Okay, July 4th. Yeah, I've heard that through the grapevine, us conspirators, that July 4th was going to be a big day. For a lot of things, I've been hearing Nazira Jazeera, which again, I do believe Nazira Jazeera, which we all know, or we should know, that in order for Nazira Jazeera to be rolled out, Mr. President, I do believe there can't be any wars happening, which I'm glad. I think you said, or there's rumors going around that save Israel for last. And I know you've been exposing the world, and I think you're going to save Israel to expose. And you're doing it to Canada. You've been doing it since last year before, that's how you knocked out the Justin Trudeau, Castro's son. So my next question to you is, do you prefer deporting Mexican immigrants or Somalians?
Put the illegal immigrants on that island with them as well.
Okay.
Well, Governor Trudeau chickened out, so we are hoping to do it July 4th.
Okay, yeah.
Put the illegal immigrants on that island with them as well.
Okay, so you're trying to deport the from what I could understand, Mr. President, I see that you're deporting, a bunch of them on the island. If I'm not mistaken here, I think you will, the Democrats would have to go with them too. So do you have Indian immigrants, Mr. President, in the United States that take time to shit on the streets like they do here in Canada?
Muslims, especially the IRGC. I've seen your videos of them shitting on Canadian streets, beaches, and in airport garbage cans.
Yeah, I mean, it's all over the place. I'm sure you're, the videos are circulating. They're shitting on the beaches. They're shitting on the street. They're literally shitting on the TTC in downtown Toronto. I don't know if you've seen that video, but it's pretty disgusting. And what's really more disgusting, Mr. President, is as someone was filming a Muslim lady having a shit on the TTC, there actually was a woman who's voted Liberal who was telling them to stop filming her because it's inhuman. Can you imagine that? Inhuman. So my question to you is, what is the first thing you're going to do when the United States takes over Canada?
Arrest the entire Liberal government for treason and crimes against humanity.
Okay, so yeah, that would be the first thing. Yeah, get rid of all the Liberals, all the governments that charge them for treason and crimes against humanity. The second thing is me personally, Mr. President, would be we'll take out the RCMP too, because to be honest with you, they're the bullies when it comes to the federal government. They're not here to protect Canadians. They never have, and I know for a fact that, Mr. President, that you actually seen many videos of the whole truck convoy and what they did. Are we ever going to see these videos of celebrities and government officials being executed in the near future?
Yes, but we are slowly getting the sheep prepared for the harsh truth. We just fed them a fake moon launch and are observing their reactions.
Yeah, I usually tell that to people, Mr. President, about, everyone's saying there's no one being arrested and stuff like that. And I give them examples that you can't go and throw videos of kids being harvesting and crimes against humanity when it comes to sex trafficking and kids being tortured for their blood, which leads into adrenochrome and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, the public couldn't handle that. And the example is Weinstein. When they got Weinstein's laptop, I don't know if it was 10 or 12 New York police officers. Out of 10 or 12 of them, I can't remember, there was like 5 or 6 of them committed suicide. That's how drastic some images and videos were on that laptop. And that was just Weinstein. Just imagine, on Weinstein. So I've been telling that to everybody, Mr. President, drip, 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 flood, drip, 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 flood. So thank you for thank you for bringing that up. And also, Mr. President, I see, I kind of mentioned it before when I said, you kind of look like you've gained a lot of water weight. So please tell me, because I know you're a big McDonald's fan, which to me, if I was your doctor, you wouldn't be eating McDonald's. But please, what's it with the water weight on that I've noticed?
It's not water weight, it's maple syrup weight. This stuff is amazing. We need maple syrup pipelines ASAP.
No, yeah, okay. I can see that happening too, Mr. President. Maple syrup really does have a lot of natural sugars, just to let everyone know. It's not refined. It's actually natural sugar. But I mean, I can see you put it on some weight. And, we don't want the Liberals to be watching this podcast, because if they know you're craving and you love our maple syrup, they'll probably be in the news all tomorrow that Donald Trump is sending, the military to seize all our, maple syrup. So we got to kind of keep it at a, hush hush, to be honest with you, because I can guarantee that's probably what's going to happen. Okay, Mr. President Trump, I just want to ask you a serious question. And, it's always been in my head for the longest time. I usually have dreams about this, but if by any chance that you ever divorce Melania, or you guys break up, and I hate to say this, if you ever pass away, because you're getting up there, Mr. President, I hate to say it. Do you think there'd be any chance of that I would have a little chance of dating Melania, instead of, would she date me is what I'm pretty much asking, sir.
You are welcome, Jeff. You are my favorite Canadian podcaster. As for my wife, when you see that orange flag above me, fuck around and find out.
So I'm assuming, Mr. President, that was a yes. I mean, I don't think I'm going to be able to sleep tonight. So I guess probably the last question, Mr. President, is thank you for coming on the show tonight. I am happy you came on. I'm going to get back because I know you're pretty much swamped and all the stuff you have to do. I bet you got to fly out somewhere. But I love you. I'm a big fan of you. I wish one day we can meet up so I can take that picture of you, with you, and then put it nicely on my wall so I can, aggravate a bunch of liberal and Democrat voters. But thank you for taking time out, Mr. President, and God bless you.
Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now I am going to put my feet up and have some more maple syrup while watching the newest DEFCON Zero podcast from Badlands Media. Those to veterans, Josh and Alpha, sure do know their shit.
Well, don't be advertising for them, Mr. President, President Trump. You got to remember, I'm the only common sense podcaster in all of Canada. I've been doing it for 6 years. I love you, and thank you once again for coming out. And may God bless America, and of course, may God bless the world. And happy Easter to you. And tell Melania I said hi, and of course, your son Baron. I have a son myself, but hey, I could have a stepson too. I love you all, and I love you, sir, and thank you once again. All right, guys, thank you. I know Donald Trump had, probably was so busy. I'm glad that we had him for at least 15, 18 minutes. But anyway, I'm glad he came on the show. That's all. It was a dream come true. So with that being said, we're going to start off with some things that we always talk about. And then we'll go further on. We start off with the boring stuff, which is Canada. We'll do that in about 15 minutes. And then after that, guys, let's get into the real stuff, obviously. But let's start off with a little of what's been happening. And I've seen it, and I've shown it, and I've shared it on my Facebook wall. What's happening in Canada, all right, with India, Canada, because obviously India has landed, and they have landed in droves of millions. Whatever the paper or the government officials says, 2 million or 3 million, you double that no matter what. You double it. You always double it. Do not listen to the government whatsoever, because it's packed here in Calgary, and it's packed there in New Brunswick. And I already know Mississauga's gone, and I already know that Brampton is already gone. And I know places in Nova Scotia have been gone. I can't even imagine what BC looks like, but I can tell you, there's more than 1 million. There, from what I could see in the small villages, even skiing in the remote areas in Gaspé, they're everywhere. And I'm telling you, 10 million, the number is what I've given you. Let's boost that up a little bit more than 10 million. But don't mark my words, the Chinese are still there too, even though they hide and they're hidden a little bit better than the Pakistans and the Punjabis. Don't mark my word. I've seen a lot of Chinese down here in Calgary. So, and let's not forget about those Africans in my area. We're swarmed with Africans. So with that being said, check this out, guys, because I'm going to translate a lot of it.
Hello, ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ। ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰਜਾਈਨਾ ਸਸਕੈਚੁਅਨ ਚ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਔਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ RCMP ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਅਫਸਰ ਬਣਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, ਅਸੀਂ 12 ਅਪ੍ਰੈਲ ਨੂੰ ਰਜਾਈਨਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਘਰੇ 10 ਵਜੇ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ 1 ਵਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਮੈਂ ਤੇ ਜਸਵਿੰਦਰ ਕੁਮਰਾਹਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਨੇ, ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ 1-2 ਜਣੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਹੋਰ ਹੋਣੇ ਆ। ਅਸੀਂ ਰਿਕਰੂਟਿੰਗ ਇਵੈਂਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਜੋ ਜਸਵਿੰਦਰ ਆਰਗੇਨਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਆ। ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੁਐਸਚਨਸ ਹੋਵੇ, ਮੈਂ ਜਸਵਿੰਦਰ ਦੱਸੂਗਾ ਮੇਰਾ।
ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੋਵੇ, ਕੋਈ ਹਾਇਰਿੰਗ ਲਈ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸ ਲਈ, ਕੋਈ ਟ੍ਰੇਨਿੰਗ ਲਈ ਵੀ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ, ਤੇ ਕੀ ਬੈਨੀਫਿਟਸ ਨੇ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਪੁਲਿਸਿੰਗ ਲਾਈਫ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਦੀ ਆ, ਤੇ ਹਰੇਕ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਲਈ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੋਵਾਂਗੇ। ਅਮਰਜੋਤ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਾਥੀ ਹੋਣਗੇ, ਤੇ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੋਣਗੇ we'll answer that.
Yeah, we'll stop that shit, but I'm going to translate it for you, all right? Because I speak cockroach. So what they're saying, guys, is they're in Regina, they're Regina RCMP, and what they're saying, from what I could understand from cockroach language, is the fact that the RCMP are looking for more Punjab recruits. That's right, guys. You heard it right. Punjab recruits. So they're basically recruiters telling all the cockroaches and all the towelheads that the RCMP to apply, because the RCMP are looking for more cockroaches like themselves. I've said it once, I said it twice. I cannot wait the day that I get stopped by an RCMP officer that is a cockroach with a turban on his head. I'm going to put it live, and you guys are going to laugh your ass off, all right? It's going to be pretty damn funny, but that's what we're facing. And guys, if you don't believe me, which I know most of you and all of yous do, is check this out. 82 Peel officers caught cheating for promotions, inclusive force and chaos. Okay, so if you look at all those people, all right, you'll see I probably, with my eyesight, I probably see maybe one, not even one. Actually, there's not even one. Maybe the girl in the far left in the back row might be the only white person, or maybe the guy with the red sasha in the middle could be white also, and the one beside him. But if you look at the numbers, yeah, you can see we're being outnumbered. And the funny thing about this, the common sense is to this that makes me even more angry, is this: the Punjab Indians are the worst people in all of the races and all the race and all people kind, as Justin Trudeau would call it, mankind in common sense, for the most corrupted people in the entire world. I don't care what anybody says. Well, I have a neighbor, they're pretty good. Yeah, but we don't know if those pretty good people are not running a fake call center down in the basement with 80 of their relatives. You don't know that, but I can tell you for a fact that every phone scam happening right now, every computer scam that's happening right now, every time you go out shopping, and you'll notice, and mark my words, you'll notice that if they can't count for one thing, which is pretty damn funny, but when they give you back change, you'll notice they'll pull away 5 or 10 cents. I've noticed that 3 times. I'll count my change in front of them just to make sure. Sometimes I do it on purpose just to see if they give me the exact change. And it doesn't sound like a lot, guys, but for instance, if you work at a 7-Eleven, okay, and you serve, I don't know, 300-400 people a day, give or take, right? And you're taking a dime from each person, well, that dime with 400 people, you guys can do the math, right? Works out to be $40. Now, $40 a day in extra change that is not given back. When you do that and you work, I don't know, 20, 25 days a month, now do the math. That 40 just turned into 400 a month, turned into 800 a month. People don't realize that it adds up, and they're not stupid. They know this, all right? But every time, and then if I'll give you another great example. When you have a business, all right, I'm going to find it here for you guys. When you have a business that is owned by a Punjabi, okay, especially Punjabi, next is the Chinese. But if you have a gas station that is owned by the Indians, Punjabi, run. All right, I'm going to tell you, don't gas up there whatsoever if it's owned by them. And I'll tell you why, because this shit's happening all over. My car wouldn't start. Fuel tanks pulled from a service station after water contamination. That's right. This was on April Fool's Day, guys. I want to show you this last week. But an Esso gas station located at Highway 92 on the Crossroads Road in Elmsdale, Ontario, had both tanks contaminated with water. All right? That's right, guys. Contaminated with water. So a lot of people were gassing up at this place, and their cars would just go just like that. Many cars, many people. So there was a complaint, many complaints. So they went in, they found out there was water in the gas in the tanks underneath. Listen, the owners went and said that they don't know how the water got in there. Obviously, we do, because Pakis, Pakistans, Punjabis, whatever you want to call them, this is what they do to gain money. I don't care what anybody says. That's not racist. That's called being a realist. And you will realize eventually that these people are the worst when it comes to being honest. So what happens? We have them in the policing. Every security, check it out. Every security position at the airports, when you land or take off in the Toronto airport, check out the airport security. Good luck at that, because I guaranteed I've been seeing a lot of people saying, "What the hell did I come to? I arrived in Canada at the Toronto airport, and I thought I was in India with all the security." They're the worst, unhonest people in the entire world, and the worst and the filthiest in the entire world. But you'll see them at every Tim's. You'll see them at every fast food. You'll see them completely in every food stop you can go to. All right. So when that makes sense, let me know. And speaking of Indians, because it's always good, here's this one right here. So charges were laid. This was done April the 2nd. Charges were laid under the Highway Traffic Act after OPP says a trucker was spotted in video meetings while driving on Highway 402. Yeah, guys, that was another sing. That was in a Teams meeting, guys. This is not a lie. He was in a Teams meeting while driving a truck, a transport truck. Let that make sense, because it doesn't to me. I hope to God they take his license. I hope to God they do a lot of things. But if we could follow America, check this out. So America, Punjabi Sikh truckers in the United States cancels 1,790 foreign commercial driving licenses over new law. That's right. Nearly all non-domiciled or domiciled CDL drivers lose their commercial driver's license privileges under the new Indiana law. They're not messing around. 1,800 driver's license saying, see you later to you Punjabis. And speaking of more Punjabis, check this out, guys. Look at this. The Ontario Police preparation. That's right. Police officers in the making. Well, let's look at this. What's your excuse for not being here? Well, number one for me is to smell. All right. That would be number one for me, why I'm not there. But I can count on one hand out of all these people of how many real Canadians, I can't say white Canadians, all right, but I'll say real Canadians are in that photo. And you can guarantee this is coming to a town near you, because like that video I showed you with those RCMP Punjabs, they're let the cat out of the bags when they're trying to say we are hiring. And speaking of hiring for the worst drivers in the entire world, which is very hard for me to say considering Chinese used to rank up there. But look what, I know I shared this on my wall, but for the people that didn't see it, that's right. All these people, that's right, with our tax-paying money, got all these diplomas, right? Every single one of them. There's only 3 white guys in the whole outfit that they're not, I don't know if they're the teachers or they could be the politicians. I don't know. Because if you see, all the people in front are all immigrants and they're all Punjabi. All right. Let that be known. Okay. And they're all going to be driving Ottawa city buses that make between 70 and 100 grand. But they're unable to find real Canadians to fill their ranks somehow. Listen, you pay me $70,000 to drive a bus, I'm going to drive a bus. You 80,000, 90, 100,000, you're going to tell me there's no Canadians, and you're picking the worst drivers that have risen our insurance rates to the roof. My insurance almost doubled in the past year because of these Punjabi parasites like everybody else's. And I'm 29 years old. All right. So it's ridiculous. It's a narrative. It's a plan. And it's time for the people to speak up, speak out, and throw punch your liberal government. All right. Throw punch your liberal government. Because I'm still amazed that these libtards, these boomers who really don't get out often, I'm just waiting for the day that their boosters kick in. It's just a matter of time. This is the year. All right. This is the year when you're going to see. I'm on a group, guys, and it's called the ivermectin, fenbendazole cure for cancer, stuff like that. You don't even understand how many people are messaging me. I got to do a video after this to explain the protocols for hundreds and hundreds of people in Canada that have cancer, stage 4 cancer and aggressive cancer. And it's my right and my duty that I feel that I got to try to help these people. And I can promise you that 90% of these people, when I ask them the question, how many vaccines have you taken? They're shocked. They're like, how did you know? Turbo cancer? How did I know? It's common sense. So after this video tonight, I have to do another video to help these people because of the stupidity that they got involved with taking the vaccines, even though they probably wish death upon us. I still feel that, Jesus, God, will be watching and will say, for all the faults that, Jeff Freedom did in his past, he's trying to help humanity, even though he talks bad about immigrants and people are people. Sorry, Jesus knows how I feel about that. There's nothing wrong with immigrants. It's when immigrants take Canadian jobs, there I have a problem. So that's all sponsored by the businesses that you should stop supporting, and the government you should stop electing. Now, the people that follow me, obviously, they're not liberal and they're not Democrats, obviously, because they probably after, first 5 minutes, they were like, oh, he sounds like Trump. Trust me, I've had that. And I'm glad, because I really don't want to have, trolls in my, on my podcast. It throws me off, and I like to strangle them and punch them at the same time. So with that being said, that will be it for Enough for Canada, guys. Besides this, you got to love this lady. I love her. I really do. All right. So Alberta, Bill 25 passed in Alberta to remove all pride flags from classrooms. That's right, guys. And ladies, I should say. Freedom Family. That's right. She did it. And, Danielle Smith has passed that bill. What's really funny, and check this out, because I don't even know her name, but Berta Dad, I think he calls himself. He's being attacked by this lesbian-looking butch broad on TikTok, who her hair looks like really short. She got tattoos all over her arm, and she's a teacher in Saskatchewan, if I'm not mistaken. And she's shitting all over Danielle Smith. And I'm going to tell you, if I went to school and I knew my son was being taught by this activist, this woke activist, well, I'd be yanking my son out of that class. She banned me on TikTok because I was just insulting her from left and right. I mean, but yeah, she's been attacking Danielle Smith for going after the wokeism. She's an activist, and there's actually people that listen to her, which again, I support the depopulation agenda. I'm sorry, Lord. Okay, I'm sorry, but to me, anyone that follows wokeism, follows the pride, they are demons. All right, and I do believe they are demons. I'm sorry to say, but it really is. That really is the truth. At the end of the day, you don't see people that follow the pride, all right, that go to church. Let's just put it that way. That's not happening. All right. So I know Ron's watching, and I know he wants to hear some videos, because obviously, but before we get to the United States also, I want you guys to check. Remember, I tell things, and I have no effing filter, no fudging filter when it comes to talking about things. But when I tell you that New Brunswick and Nova Scotia is done, I mean, it's completely done. When they bring in more Africans, we are done. We're going to be a shithole. But let me just show you what the youth of Africans look like and the shit that they do. 17 seconds long. This is in Halifax. See, this is the shit that I've been telling people, because what happens if that bus driver doesn't know, that the monkey's on top of the bus and he hits the brakes because someone jumps in front of him or he's got to make a stop. That one goes flying, right? And breaks everything in his body, and probably will sue the bus driver, and of course sue the government, and then the taxpayers like us have to pay for him. You understand? That's the shit that's going to happen. And trust me, it's going to happen. Speaking of wokeism and transgender and stuff like that, let me just show you what's happening in Iran for the people that are wondering why Donald Trump is doing what Donald Trump does to Iran. Because like I've said, I don't know what I hate more between Iran, Iraq, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, all those sand desert people. All right, because those people had been in war amongst each other for years, hundreds and hundreds of years. These people, Persia, aka Pakistan, not Pakistan, sorry about that. Palestine used to be called Persia back in the day. All right, those people, all those people have the same thing in common. And I'm going to show you, while we got teachers in our school teaching about trans and what gender they are. This is what the kids in these example in this video I ran, what they're teaching their kids. Yeah, that one is pretty. That one, I'm going to see some comments, guys. Yeah, that one is, that one's pretty disgusting. Yeah, it really is. And what's this? Martin says Iran was Persia. Yeah, sorry about that, Martin. I had a brain fart there. Iran was Persia back in the day, not Palestine. Sorry, Palestine had their Palestine. Israel just came into play in 1940s. But yeah. But Vincent says they fired an African Nigerian at my work last week for pushing a young teenager, which had zero intelligence. I mean, you don't even understand. Vincent, that doesn't surprise me, because this is what I mean by ignorance. My roommate, for example, I'll give you an example. He's been watching me for my last 2 shows. He's like, wow, blown out. Like, he's totally loves what I say, but he's not sure about the whole space thing and chemical trails. And I'm working on him, It's taking time, but he's a big space believer, right? Okay. And after him watching my shows, he's like, oh my God, Jeff, I mean, now I realize that when I drive and I'm going around, I'm seeing brand new cars with all immigrants in the brand new cars, and all the bus drivers are immigrants, like you said. And yesterday we were out, me and my friend, test driving cars, and we just got out of this car to take a test drive. We got out of it and we were checking the back of the car and lifted the hood because I wanted to check the motor. And as soon as we got out, these Africans, literally, that's not a lie, these Africans came pouring right in. Boom. As he was about to lift the hood to check under the hood, these Africans went right into the car. All right. Didn't even say, wait, I am, or any introduction or excuse me, nothing. Right in. All right. And he was like, what the hell is going on here? Because they're ignorant people. Africans are very ignorant people. All right. Pakistans, all those people, they're not ignorant when they're by themselves, but they're ignorant when they're in a group and amongst their people. All right. Example, today, this is not a lie. I'm walking to the gym and I see this Pakistan or African, at this point, I don't know, maybe his parents were both, is in the middle of the sidewalk, and I'm walking. So I do my courtesy thing. I go to the right to let him walk to the left. He stays in the middle. Well, I'm like, fuck this. So I took my shoulder and went bang, like that. And I looked at him and he looked at me and he kept on walking because I was just waiting. I had my headphones on. It's like, dude, you got the wrong person if you think I'm going to push off to the side and let you take the whole sidewalk. You're effing crazy. All right. I was hoping he would say something, because as much hatred I have of seeing what my country's turning into, Canada, at this point, I mean, I don't think anything would have happened out of it for assaulting. But let's just say if he would have put down his bag and would have threw a punch, it wouldn't have been a pretty day for him. Let's just put it that way. All right. Speaking of abuse and child abuse, I don't know, for all you parents with common sense, I want to show you a video. It's not a very good video. It's going to probably make you sick to your stomach. All right. Especially for the parents that are wide awake. And you're not going to like the video, but I'm going to have to show it anyway, because I've always been awake for this. It disgusted me when my baby mama, who's a nurse, did this to my son. I lost my shit. And I actually went to court because they were, she made me seem like I was an unfit father for yelling at her. But check this out, and you tell me if nurses are not programmed and are not as dumb as you can imagine for doing this for a child. Yeah, that was it for me. But can you imagine that? And the nurses think that's medicine. Given all those shots all at once to a small kid with a perfectly healthy immune system, and they think that's normal. That's how brainwashed nurses and doctors really are. And that's why I have no choice to help the people on the group of ivermectin, fenbendazole, and people with cancer, because that's so disturbing that we actually trust our health system, and to make us believe. I've seen this myself up front with my son. I can't remember how many shots they give him, and my son does suffer from ADD, attention deficit disorder. All right, which I've told his stupid mother at the time that something was going to happen to him, because it was, and she brought me to court for that, guys. She brought me to court. He's never got a shot after that. Let me tell you that, because the kid is smart enough. Now, I don't know what she did up until he was 2 years old, because he was too small to tell me stuff. But let's just say those 70-something shots, my son doesn't get any. Grade 7, not happening this year. But I had to go to court, and the judge looking at me like I was on an unfit father. And you don't even want to know what I said to that judge. To be honest with you, it wasn't great. I almost got charged for contempt of court, but I really didn't care at that point. I could have strangled someone. So if that makes sense to you, I just feel sorry for that poor kids and those retarded parents. Speaking of retarded parents, I want you guys to look at this, because a lot of people didn't see this on the April Fool's launch. But check this out, because someone pointed it out. But a lot of people didn't see it. But check this. I think you guys will be curious.
Artemis 2 now bound for the moon. Humanity's next.
Look. Yup, that is exactly what you think it is. A zip line taking the astronauts off of the rocket right before it goes up and flies straight up and then down and lands in the ocean, because they're not actually going to space.
Good roll pitch.
Because it's not real like you know it. There's a reason why the first moon mission since 1969 took place on April 1st of all days. It's because it wasn't even happening in the first place, because they cannot go to the moon, and they've never been able to go to the moon. The rocket flies up and then it falls straight down to the ocean. And that zip line took those astronauts straight off. That's why we didn't see them on the live stream at all. We just saw the crappy CGI picture of the rocket flying nowhere. We didn't even see the astronauts in the cockpit. It's ridiculous. If Richard Nixon could call with a landline phone all the way up to the moon in 1969, why can't we have a live stream of them in the cockpit while it was even on the ground? Because that didn't even show up at all. We didn't even see them before they launched on the ground inside the ship at all.
So with that being said, guys, I didn't know that the last rocket ship was on April Fool's Day in 1969. So they tried to fool us once. They fooled a lot of people, obviously, but they weren't getting away with fooling us twice, right? So I thought that was pretty cool with the zip line. I checked it out myself and seen it on the original also. I mean, it doesn't. We don't need to be rocket scientists to figure out that there's no such thing, that they lost the technology to land on the moon, right? Come on, how dumb and they're laughing at us. That's the funny thing, is they're laughing at us, not laughing at me. So with that being said, check this out, guys, because we were talking about that and how dumb. Let me just show you an analogy, all right? So we know that a bullet goes 1,800 miles per hour, but they're trying to tell us that the spacecraft goes 22,000 miles per hour. If I'm not mistaken, I think it goes 18,000 miles per hour, so which would be 10 times faster. But we can see a rocket take it off, but can anyone see a bullet? I don't know if you guys know anything about this, but Mach 1, I think it's Mach, if you get to Mach 3, you're literally on Mach 3 you're literally pass out. Can you imagine Mach 18? All right, just to let you know, you would be like splattered, right? And I mean, a bullet goes 1,800 miles per hour, but a rocket goes 18,000? Nope, it's not happening. And you can see the rocket, it always goes on a curve, right? Because we know what rockets when they hit the moon, you hear that word splash, which is called the Bermuda Triangle. That's why they tell us not to go near the Bermuda Triangle, right, guys? They've been telling us, because if you go near the Bermuda Triangle, some people never come back. Well, that's because they don't want us to see the rockets that land in the Bermuda Triangle, because actually there was a video that came out not too long ago of divers that went to the Bermuda Triangle and couldn't understand why there were rockets in the Bermuda Triangle. So speaking of weird and evil, check this out. That's right, guys. This is actually at the train station in Davos, Switzerland. I'm not making this up. If you go to Davos, Switzerland, and you get on the train and you get off in Davos, you will have these beautiful figures sitting there. All right, just to let you know. I don't know if most of you guys knew this, but yeah, I mean, could that be representing their politicians? There's a lot of shit that happens in Davos, Switzerland, guys, and I've already did a video about the stuff in Switzerland, about where the WEF is located, the WHO, the UN. Everything is some reason why it's all located in Switzerland. All right. And I remember, I know you guys have been following me, like Martin and other people that remember Vincent, that I did a live one day, and I talked about how they found Satan's or the devil's chair somewhere in Switzerland, and why it is, and the CERN, CERN is in Switzerland also. That place is, like I said, it's very interesting, and what's the word? Coincidence that all this stuff is there. So this just happened, obviously, in the United States. This perfect, I don't know, engineer, maybe doctor. His name is Kirsten Francelis, was arrested in Martin County in Florida for killing a 70-year-old woman by stabbing her 16 times. I mean, these are savages, guys. I hate to tell you, but they are savages. How do you stab an old lady that's 70 years old 16 times? Savages. I don't care what anybody says. The word is savage. And speaking of savages, this one is really good. Joy Reid warns America about the MAGA agenda. All right, this savage right here, who got fired from her job, I can't remember which television station, but her complaint is they want to take us back to no income tax, no regulations, earn what you want, and then family inherit everything. Can you imagine that argument from this parasite, this chimp, this monkey? Can you imagine? How do you say anything negative about no income tax? What you get is what you owe, what you own. Like, how do you even say anything bad about that? That's how dumb these Democrat people are. And like I said, this is why I support the depopulation agenda. Speaking of that, this is my future, hopefully, if the people that followed from the show, and we had Mr., the president on the show, this is what I asked him, one of my questions, how beautiful she is, Lady Di, Melania. But look at the Q, because there's no such thing, since we're talking about coincidence now. Look at the Q on her dress for the people that think that there's no such thing as the Q anon, right? No, of course not. She just wears different kinds of dresses, because that's not the only dress that she had the Q on, right, guys? And you remember this cup back when we were kids? Remember this cup, guys? I had this cup, the Mickey cup. Remember that? And if you can look at the Mickey cup, you would see how it says and I don't recall this, obviously, because as a kid, you don't see this stuff. But this is what it stands for when you reverse it. It stands for Wicked, which we all know about Disney, right? We know all about Disney right now. Now, the only thing I can explain is this, all right? This was Donald Trump's tweet. So when he tweeted this, and I should have asked him on the show tonight, but I don't think he would have given me the right answer anyway, but I should have asked him. Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing left. There will be nothing like it. Open the blank straight, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah, President Donald Trump. Now, the reason I brought that up, guys, because if you watch or pay attention to anything to Q drops, you will want to look at a few things in here. Just watch would be probably one of them. I would have to say Power Plant Day or Bridge Day, okay, in the Q drops. Praise be to Allah would probably be in there too under the Q drops, just to let you know. All right, that's how you know and you follow the Q drops by things that are either misspelled or capitalized. All right, so that's how you learn with the Q drops, and those are just little secrets to the Q drops. I don't follow the Q drops because it's just too much for me. All right, but anyway, like I said, guys, thank you for coming out, and thank you for President Trump for joining us in the beginning of the show. I love you guys all. Wish me luck, guys, because tomorrow I start my training, for ambulance and all that. And the biggest fear of my training is I think there's 8 of us. And I looked at the schedule of the people in the class, and I'm just going to, really fast, I'm going to show you guys because I've got the names in the class, apparently. And I'm going to tell you the names, all right? Out of 8 people, guys. Check this out. So we have a Casey Rogers. Sounds Canadian, thank God. We have an Emika Orji. Definitely African. We have an Evan Zadary. Sounds Russian, sounds Polish. Lucas Chuck. I don't know what Chuck stands for, guys. Marin Huzak. That's definitely not Canadian. Oh, we have a Samantha Olsen. Canadian name. We have a Shar. S-H-A-R. Sounds very Arabian. And we have a Zachary Bouchard, which sounds Canadian. So there's me, Zachary, Samantha, and Casey. So 4 out of 8. So wish me luck that the other so-called Canadian names are not people from different countries. Because like I've noticed here at the YMCA is the white people that are there are white, but they're not Canadians. They're Russian. They're Zelensky's crew, Ukrainians, but there's not really real people from Canada that were born in Canada. In all of the YMCA, if you got hundreds of people, I can count how many actual Canadians are in there on probably 2 hands out of hundreds. I do it every day, guys. I go and train every day. The gym's whatever. It's disgusting. I don't care what anybody says. It's not being a racist. It's called being a realist. And when you realize that we're being outnumbered because of diversity, they think is a strength, which is not. They know that. Diversity destabilizes the economy on purpose. And do the right thing. Do the right thing is shipping all these people back to their own countries. That's what doing the right thing is for the Canadians. So anyway, I love you guys all. Thank you for taking the time coming out. Now, if I do a podcast for Thursday, it's going to be pre-recorded for Thursday at 9 o'clock, just to let you know. So I won't be able to see your comments to, interact with you guys, but it will be pre-recorded for you guys. So if there's anything important, you guys will have me on Thursday at 9 o'clock, like usual, but pre-recorded. Sundays, it will be live. All right. Unless something comes up, guys. But besides that, I love you guys all. And who knows? You never know for Thursday, because I do get off at 4:30, come home, I get here. If I can make it, great. And then I go to the gym. Thursdays is great. So you never know. We'll just play it by ear. But either way, there will be a show Thursday, guys. Anyway, I love you all. Take care. And like Don Cherry says, who would have been the best prime minister Canada has ever had, you people hold that line. And thank you again, once again, to President Trump for joining the show, for taking time off on his busy schedule. And you people hold that line. And I'm telling you, it will get worse before it gets better. but this immigration thing has me worried for the future of Canada. All right, guys. Adios.
Miss out. Bringing you the real truth, exposed. The Canadian Dawn is digging deeper, asking what others won't, and broadcasting it uncensored. For real. Join the conversation live with facts you can see and voices you can trust. Subscribe today.